I mean, there is a lot of symbolism.
There's nothing. There's nothing to it. There's absolutely nothing to it. You know what? Fuck it. Let's start it up. Welcome back to Macrodosing. I am your host. We kicked PFT off the show. He's no longer on Macrodosing. Fuck him. Fuck his other podcast.
No, we love all podcasts.
I don't. Fuck his podcast.
Donnie's here.
Johnny's here. Is way better than PFT anyway. He's funnier. He's more handsome.
I'm taller.
He's taller. His hair isn't falling out. He's an overall better guy, you know? Yeah, so we got everybody in studio. We got the Super Bowl hangover. Anybody had a Super Bowl hangover?
Billy might.
low key, no.
I don't. I got a stomach bug on Saturday and just started puking my brains out. And so I woke up on Sunday, which is like the snack day of the year, and I couldn't really eat much. So I just watched the Super Bowl alone in my apartment. It's pretty depressing.
Sorry to hear that, man. I had a nice little shindig, man. You know, I got my 98-inch TV. I cooked me a nice little healthy meal. My brother came over, cooked some chicken. My pops came over and brought chocolate wine. That was wild. But I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking for like 6 months. We got a lot to get into today, man. A lot going on in the world. But first and foremost, we didn't get to talk about it. Or did we talk about it last part? We talked about Braun breaking the record?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Briefly, yeah.
Right.
Remember we talked about the people taking pictures on their phones?
Yeah.
That's true. Correct. Well, still shout out to that. Still crazy. So the Super Bowl. Did we watch it? Did everybody watch it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good game.
It was a great game. There was a split second that I was like, oh shit, it's finna end up the score that little script shit was leaking around.
I wanted it so bad.
Oh my god, that shit would have been amazing, dog. It was so close.
What was
I loved it. I think they before, because when that whole script shit came out, somebody made a joke or whatever it was that saying it was leaked, and I think it was like 34-37, and the Eagles were gonna win. Mm-hmm. And so it was like setting up for it or something. It was looking amazing, man, but it didn't end up happening. And that's too bad too, because that would have set the internet ablaze once again.
Wait, was that just that like graphic floating around of like a fake script? Like someone
like
actually
Wikipedia page.
Yeah, that like fake screenshot kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you, Arian? What'd you think of the call at the end?
I mean, I do think he held him, but I think in that moment you gotta let that shit fly. Like they're like you can call little shit like that on practically every play. I do think it was a hold, but it was like so subtle and so. Plus, I think the ball was uncatchable. I don't think he would have got it anyway. I mean, he even admitted it was a hold. He said, "I did. Right. I held him," but I don't think it was. It's just a Super Bowl, a game of that magnitude. Like, keep your flag in your pocket, dogs. You know what I mean? At a moment like that, like this, there's been plenty of times like that in the past where it's like a championship game or something like that where the refs don't call a call, and it's like, I agree, just let the players play it out, man. Let that shit pan out. It was a third down, something like that.
It was third, yeah. Now, if they don't call it, they get the field goal anyway, and then the Eagles had one timeout, so they had like a minute 30 and one timeout, which
I think they had two, actually. I could be wrong.
I thought they only called one, and then they.
I could be wrong, but then you setting up Jalen Hurts for like a storybook ending to an amazing
right?
game,
Yeah, they had a chance
season.
for
like,
sure.
Come on, man, like you gotta let that shit play out, dog. He's tripping, but I mean, it is what it is.
Bradbury did say that he felt like it was a penalty, and he was hoping that they wouldn't call it.
Yeah.
So, I fucking hate Sirianni though. I'm so happy they lost. I don't care how they lost.
By the way,
guy's a loser.
Why do you hate Sirianni?
He's such a loser. He makes it all about himself. He thinks it's like a Disney movie. Like he's like crying before the game.
I can understand.
And he's like showing like films to them before of movies, like inspiring movies. I think he's just a loser. And he makes it all about himself. I don't know if you saw the clip where he was like waving the Chiefs back and Hurts looked like he was like embarrassed to have him as like the coach at the time. Like he just sucks.
To be fair, it was a beautiful national anthem. You
Chris
know?
Stapleton, go.
No,
I think Chris Stapleton's great, but like
that was mid, man.
There's nothing wrong with
it was
crying.
great. You think it was great?
no, I think he is great. I think it was
just
okay.
That shit was
it was really
that
good.
was a mid. That was a
no,
mid.
that was not a mid anthem.
That was oh my.
You
God,
think every anthem's mid?
That's not true. I don't like the anthem in general, but
Yeah.
like the Whitney Houston anthem was one of the greatest. Like, are you kidding me? It was amazing.
I would actually
Matter of fact, the national anthem is kind of like, because it's not an easy song to sing. It's kind of like it's the metric of like, this is your chance to show that you can blow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so low and then you have to go so high with it. So like, yeah, I don't like the song in general, but it's kind of like a rite of passage for a singer. It was a mid national anthem.
I actually think for Arian to call it mid means it's really good.
Yeah, actually.
Like, if Arian says your national anthem's mid, that's like just anybody else saying it was like awesome.
Yeah, that's like him saying your dog's chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's high praise.
Like that. If I say your dog's chill, you have the greatest dog that ever
exactly.
lived.
So
right.
Yeah, no.
It was pretty good though. It was an 8-2, an 8-2 anthem.
Wait, Arian, you like Sirianni, or you're just wondering why I don't like him?
No, I've never interacted with him. I don't know him. I've never saw any clips of him.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I was just curious.
He's just done some bullshit stuff. Like they were up 37 against the Giants. He went for 2, and then like.
So that's what you're upset about.
Well, of course,
Yeah,
but I
right.
think he's just a cornball. Like,
yeah,
I'd be embarrassed if he was my coach.
The crying in the national anthem got me, but this is what changed my mind. Because I was watching, I was like, what the fuck out of here with that shit, man. But in that moment, you're realizing you're in the Super Bowl. Like that is the goal when you set out to do this profession, is to be in the Super Bowl. And in that moment, if that's the overwhelming emotion that you get, that makes sense. If you're crying because of America, I can't judge it. I just can't relate. But if it was because of the Super Bowl, that shit makes a lot of sense. I can understand.
I think it was. I think it was the former, but I will say right before the national anthem, one of the sideline reporters was like, I asked Nick Sirianni, when did it hit you that you're playing in the Super Bowl? And he said, I think it'll be during the national anthem. So I think he knew they were going to say that and then felt like he needed to put on a show.
Yep, he knew the camera was on him. I'm telling you, this guy's a cornball bullshit artist.
I don't think but
he sucks.
The being in the Super Bowl and loving America at the same time, I think is 1 and 1. I don't think it's like 2 different things, like you're saying.
Stop. Don't play into Nick.
Hey,
no, we had this discussion
games.
a lot when the whole anthem stuff was happening, and I think I like actually wrote an article in my school paper that like you're in the Super Bowl playing American football, and you have this opportunity because it's America.
Like
I played in the Super Bowl in China.
Yeah, but
that wasn't
when
America.
you're listening to the anthem, were you like, thank you so much, CCP, for having this amazing country where I can play football in a Super Bowl?
I'm trying to remember if they did I think they only did the Chinese national anthem before games. No, I did not cry during that anthem.
Like, so they did do the anthem before the?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it slapped? Is it good? Never heard it. I've never heard the Chinese national anthem.
You know what? I actually sang the Chinese national anthem before one of the Barstool Classic tournaments.
why?
Lit. Should we play the?
I think we could
play your rendition, because
we're not going to get a copyright stripe for the Chinese national anthem. I mean,
really
I don't have those lyrics
recently.
memorized.
Speaking of China,
I was going to say they've been pressing us recently. Should we?
Hold
on, real quick. I think this is dope. I think we pause for a second.
If I knew the lyrics to the Chinese national anthem, you guys would have reason to be suspicious of me.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm suggesting. Everybody pause, and it's like a minute and 28 seconds. Let's listen to the Chinese national anthem, and we can play it on the pod, and then we'll talk about all the Chinese stuff. I want to hear it. I've never heard it.
I don't want to play the anthem.
Yeah, I don't want to rock with their shit though.
Yeah,
I bet it sucks.
Yeah,
why?
They've been fucking with us.
Are you? Dude, they're up to some
I just
stuff.
want to hear that. Oh my god, y'all are so fucking.
We can listen to the song. I bet it's a trash song, and we can shit on it.
It's not you're not advocating for it. It's just we're collectively listening to
and
the Chinese.
If you want me, I can sing along to the I can sing along with the translated lyrics, so you guys know what they're saying.
I don't want to be pumping
love it. Okay.
propaganda the day after the Super Bowl.
No, we're good.
I love
Let's play.
All right, let me know when you guys got it queued up, and we'll play at the same time.
Oh, because you can't hear it from us. Got it.
No,
Okay.
I can't hear from you.
So should I just
Let me know.
play it?
You can play it into the mic.
All right.
I mean, and then dub it over with the real one, bro. Because
Yeah.
give our listeners the real. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Experience. All right, let me know when you queued. I'm queued up.
Good play.
All right, playing.
Stand up, those who are unwilling to become slaves. Take our flesh and build it to become a new Great Wall. The Chinese people have reached a most dangerous time. Every person is being compelled to issue a final roar. Arise, arise, arise! We are millions with one heart, braving our enemies' gunfire. March on, braving our enemies' gunfire. March on, march on, march on.
I could totally frame that in a clip and make it seem like you're just.
Oh my God, those are actually. I thought those are actually the lyrics.
Yeah,
That's what it translates to.
yeah. Oh, I guess it. Yeah, I only had. Arise, arise! Millions with but one heart, braving the enemy's fire. Yeah.
What?
I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it.
Yeah, because they were.
Trash.
Boo.
Listen, our national anthem talks about war too.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Our national is horrible. It was written by a fucking racist slave. Fuck that guy.
Oh yeah, Aaron, I wanted to get your opinion. I didn't even know this was a thing, but I saw everybody on the far right being pissed off that there was like a black national anthem before the official national anthem.
Right.
Is that the first year they have done that, or has that always been a thing?
They started it a year or two ago, I think.
I've known of it, since I was a kid, but I've never. I don't know. I'm not much into nationalism in general, so the black national anthem doesn't do anything for me. The regular national anthem doesn't do anything for me. I've never been into like that kind of like rallying cry.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, but I've known about it it's been since I've been, I think.
Okay. And that's a hymn, right? That's known as Lift Every Voice and Sing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I obviously don't have a problem with it. It was funny in seeing all of these like far right commentators like losing their mind.
I'm surprised that they haven't heard it before. I mean,
I think it was the first time it may have been included on the broadcast. I think it definitely did happen in the stadium.
Okay.
I'm all for fucking with them, so yeah, more power to playing it in the Super Bowl. Love it.
Let's go.
I have to pause it real quick. I have to open this door for this dude that's doing something on my house. I'll be right back though. Can we pause for like 2 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Before we get into China, how'd you guys feel about Rihanna's performance? I thought she was great.
I loved it, and I will defend her if anyone tries to be like, it was bad.
Whoa.
I thought it was great too. I was confused. So is she currently pregnant or she had just given birth?
Yeah, she's
Both.
pregnant. Well, both. What didn't she give birth in like May?
Yeah, like May, spring, and then now, I guess as of last night she announced.
So she must have gotten knocked up like a month after giving birth or something.
Or like a couple months out.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Ace?
ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
Yep. ASAP Rocky.
I remember we spoke about this one time. And
Well, because he was like arrested, and then
He was in jail in Sweden, was it? For maybe like 3 months almost?
Free ASAP.
And then Trump got him back.
That was an all-time tweet.
God.
Free ASAP.
And that was also Sweden's where Drake got arrested too. I feel like Sweden just must have a zero tolerance policy for rappers.
Well, they kind of arrest a lot of because their prison system's so nice.
Yeah.
Like getting arrested in Sweden isn't that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's not like your life is. It's not like a Britney Griner situation.
Yeah. So they're like more like in Sweden, in a lot of the Scandinavian countries, like the cops are like they're more likely to arrest a drunken, disorderly person because it's part of their sort of like social contract that like they don't like seeing like it's if you're out in Times Square and you see like someone super hammered walking around like and being a little sloppy, you're like, oh, that's just New York. They don't tolerate like the place that they live that there would be.
They keep it nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll like throw a guy in for drunk and disorderly. So that happens to a lot of American students studying abroad, they get arrested in some of the Scandinavian countries for just being way too drunk because it's like their standards a lot higher.
Okay.
For
so if
being
I wanted to
hammered
like
in the street.
bring up my street cred, but not to do like hard time, I should just do a few
Yeah.
months in like a Swedish jail.
Well, they just
Sweet.
throw you in there for like, it's like a drunk tank and the charges are much lower.
Yeah, but when you're in a drunk tank, they let you go in the morning. It's like I think A$AP Rocky was in there for a while.
So that,
yeah.
that was because he was involved in a assault.
Yeah.
And that's different. But like, I don't think Drake got I think Drake was something like,
He assaulted a man named Mustafa
yeah.
in the streets of Stockholm, punching, kicking, and cutting.
Well, Mustafa actually assaulted him. If you watch the video,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
You got to be
He's-
careful in a foreign country because even if it is self-defense, they're usually going to side with whoever is from their country. Was Mustafa like Swedish?
I don't think
Yeah.
so. Oh yeah, so Drake got popped for weed in a nightclub.
Okay.
So should have been.
You
in
can't be, yeah.
Copenhagen. There's the
You
autonomous.
can't be
zone, right?
arresting Drake in a nightclub for weed.
Yeah. Oh, he was not arrested in Sweden. He was just detained.
Okay.
Huh. Yeah.
All right, my bad.
You're good. We were just talking about Rihanna.
Oh,
So
my darling love.
actually,
Yeah, slay, Arian. Good
was-
for you.
It was perfect. It was a perfect performance.
Arian,
Congratulations to her, A$AP.
I'm gonna.
Well, more her.
She has so many bangers. It's actually ridiculous. Like every song
She's
that she
amazing.
had performed was good.
I'm having serious deja vu. Did I not on this podcast once ask who was who's Rihanna's kid with, and then Arian got mad? Am I crazy or am I?
I don't remember.
Am
that.
I like having like concussion flash?
I mean, might have. I'm in love with Rihanna. Rihanna's a perfect woman to me. So
it
it's
wasn't like a serious, but I was like, who's Rihanna's child with? And then,
Oh, like how do you not know? Basically,
I don't know.
I don't.
I don't think I'm not that type because I don't keep up with gossip.
No,
Yeah,
I think
but-
I'm just having a crazy deja vu moment. Sorry.
She crushed. She's so goated for that. I loved it.
A$AP Rocky would be a cool guest to have on this show. I know he loves his acid. He loves his macro doses of acid.
LSD.
Those are two of the most attractive people that could possibly be together. They are just so pretty, both of them.
I'll get on that. I'll try to get A$AP on here.
He had some.
Get A$AP, A$AP.
Get ASAP.
Oh yeah, he was on quote. So this was
Never heard that before.
This was before he was with Rihanna, but he was like, yeah, one time this guy gave me acid at South by Southwest, and then I went back to my mansion and fucked 9 chicks. It was pretty rad. That's a true story, and that was his quote.
Calling cap on that, bro.
I don't know. Why are you calling cap? Well, like,
Well, if it was 9 at a time, I might make that more sense. But 9 consecutive in the same day, hell no.
no, I think he was probably just in a bed with 9 chicks getting freaky. Maybe he didn't.
that might-
Maybe he didn't actually penetrate all 9, but.
Got you. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. More plausible.
So they might have just been watching.
Yeah.
Well, like one could have been playing with his hair. One could have been
That just seems stressful.
sucking on his nipple. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's more like I got to perform for 9 of you.
Yeah.
It's like when I have friends over, like for a barbecue or
what?
something, like I'd get stressed. Like, oh, I gotta feed and like get booze for all these people. Entertain. Like, imagine like entertaining 9 women by yourself in a bed.
With just one dick.
Yeah.
But you also have 2 hands and your tongue.
Oh, he only has. You don't know he only has one dick.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you never have to deal with something like that. I'm
Yeah. I
hoping
just
you
feel
never.
like that would be really stressful.
I hope you
I'm
do.
hoping you
That
never
would
have to
be
deal with those
amazing.
struggles in life of having.
Please
9 women in your
report
bed
back.
at once.
Please report back if you do have to deal with that at some point.
Yeah.
Arian, did you see they were talking about the grass, how they worked on it for like 11 months, and it was maybe the worst grass we've ever seen in a football game?
Yeah, I saw that they went to those 3/4 inch spikes. It's pretty good to me. I don't think it was like super slippery. Like it didn't look. It looked like it was deep. You know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like. But it didn't feel like it was bad grass.
Oh, all the players
was
said it was
slick.
like the worst field they've ever played on.
Oh well, they can speak to it better than me.
That's
Oh,
why
I was
they
going
were
for
all.
wax.
That's why
Oh.
they were all changing cleats.
They're saying that they painted the grass green because it wasn't looking green enough.
Really?
I saw that somewhere, but I might be totally making that up.
That might be the case.
Yeah, can't put that out of the realm.
Yeah.
Yo,
Take my
Arian,
grass seriously.
ASAP Rocky actually explained what he meant because he was asked, "Oh, did you bang them all at the same time?" He said, "No. It was like group sex. You have 3 at a time, and then you have 3 more." So I think he had like 3 threesomes in a row.
That is, wow. That's
And maybe it wasn't
that's
like
so much.
back to back. Maybe he took like a 2-hour break and then banged
Definitely gotta
another
take a
3
break.
chicks. Yeah.
Definitely got a break. See, I've never the cats that can finish and keep going like nothing happened. Like hats off to you because I cannot do that. I need at least 20 minutes at least, and even after that 20 minutes, I need some motivation like a motherfucker. Like cats that just keep pumping through. I don't understand that. I'm not built like that, but I'm sure that your woman is satisfied because I cannot do that.
They say the refractory period is the like greatest human advancement for like civilization because without it, like the Mongol hordes would have overrun the whole like world and like civilization would
They could
exist.
just keep on fucking.
Yeah. They can-
So even Mongols need to take a break.
but think about it. Like think about Genghis. Like just you couldn't stop the horde.
You couldn't stop the horde if
The
they
only
could
thing that
just
stopped the horde.
because you can only rape so much. You can't just keep on raping.
It's terrible. That was
Well, I
wild
think
there.
yeah.
But just like imagine if there wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, you know. Sorry.
Imagine if the Mongols
So-
never ran out of cum.
One thing I wanted to address about the Super Bowl is how they keep bigging up Pat Tillman without telling the actual story about what happened. That shit
True.
is bothersome to me. I hate that shit, man.
Crazy.
Like they always bring him up like, oh, he was like so for the military. He gave his life to the dude called the Iraq war illegal. He was totally against it, and he died by friendly fire, and they covered it up to his family. The military covered it up to his family. So it's like, if you're gonna tell that story, tell that story. Don't tell the fucking he was so patriotic story, because that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And it's just I hate the way they twist that shit, man. It's literally propaganda.
Yeah, all they say is he died in the line of duty and don't explain anything else.
Yep.
For
Yep. I don't know. I just had to get that off my chest. I hate that shit.
for those who didn't know, fill in. Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire, air support. That was U.S.
Yeah, I actually
And then covered up.
had
And then covered
completely
it up.
forgot about that or never knew in the first place and then learned again last night.
And he
Yeah.
was an atheist.
Hmm.
Just throwing that out there. All right.
Right before we get into a large conversation about life, the universe, and what drives innovation and whether humanity would be more like aliens that showed up here than not, I just want to talk to you about C4, what fuels these amazing conversations. This year, C4 is stepping up its commitment to support you on your fitness journey and are looking for 100 people willing to give 100%. The No Shit, No Quit Club was created to help you get one step closer to becoming the better, stronger, faster, leaner, whatever version of you that you want. With a program rooted in discipline over motivation and led by Kevin Hart's personal trainer, Ron Boss Everline, you'll have access to robust training programs, exclusive product drops, community workout events, and more. The catch, you can't quit. The No Shit, No Quit Club launches today, February 14th, and you can sign up for early access at cellacore.com/pages-no/t/no/quit. That's at cellacore.com. Check it out. I'm also going to be doing it. Shout out to C4, the best post-work, pre-workout, in my opinion. I made up that tagline because I literally drink it after work every day before I work out. Post-work, pre-workout. Pretty cool, right?
I need some of that.
Yeah. And now back to our very extraterrestrial conversation.
I did want you to give a chance, Billy, to cook, because this weather balloon shit or the UFO shit, or do you want to touch on that first, or do you want to touch on the shit that's happened in Maddie's hometown? Because that's kind of wild too.
It's crazy what's going on there. Are they all connected? Don't know.
So it's now 4, right, that have been shot down?
I mean, yesterday was crazy because every like 2 hours they kept talking about a new object.
Yeah.
So
I still don't like. You guys told me about the East Palestine, Ohio thing. I didn't hear about that. 2, still I read up on it. I still don't understand how you think they're all connected. The train versus the balloons. I don't get that part. Still.
Just if you wanted
just
to,
like circumstance, it's like kind of crazy.
If like, I don't know, let's just say hypothetically you were a nation state that did not want to engage in a actual hot war with another nation state, like what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. Let's say you were trying to avoid a head-on collision, but you still wanted to inflict damage on the other country. How would you do it?
I think you might need to explain some backstory about the East Palestine.
Yeah, can we talk about East Palestine for a second?
Let's do this well. So let's like start with the balloons.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Let Billy cook.
Start with the balloons.
Well, we don't know their balloons. Are you talking about if we go all the way back to the Chinese balloon?
Yeah, the Chinese balloon's the first object.
All right.
So on February 4th, an object was seen going across Montana. It was finally shot down around Myrtle Beach in South Carolina on February 4th. Since then, and there's been much more attention going to NORAD and other stuff because of this first balloon. Did I pronounce that right?
Still fucking?
Is it NORAD?
No,
what is
there
it?
you go.
NORAD.
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 NORAD. So then, all of a sudden on Friday, a second object was shot down over Alaska. Saturday, a third object was shot down over the Yukon, which is Canada. And then on Sunday, something was shot down right over, I think, Lake Michigan. I want to say the Huron.
Lake Huron.
Lake Huron. So I have a group chat with a couple of fighter pilots that I met once on spring break. But they're a bunch of cool guys. Shout out Patty Vacay, Nasty Nate, the Montauk Monster. That's some of their call signs. But they were telling me that it's not UFOs, these octagonal objects, they're all balloons, or maybe if they're not a balloon, they're definitely like some sort of surveillance drone that have all been just chilling out over North America for a while. And this kind of stuff may have been happening before, but since the weather, the Chinese balloon from a couple weeks ago got so much attention, and the public sort of became aware that there may have been unidentified objects that weren't like crazy complicated. They're just flying objects that may have been just like balloons that everyone now knows exist. So they had to start taking them out because it shows like military incompetence that we'd allow that stuff in our airspace. But I think they have been known about before from their training. They said that like they were sometimes told they'd come encounter with some of these things, and no one really knows what they are. But like, if to find out, you'd have to like get into a large international scenario that we're sort of entering right now, where China claims that they're also seeing balloons over.
Yeah,
their country.
They claim they've seen something that they were going to shoot down. Maybe they already have shot it down. But what do you say to the pilots who have seen these things and they say we can't observe any known propulsion force?
Right.
They're like, we have no idea how these things are flying. I know they were shot down at like 20,000 feet, which might be too high for a balloon.
Yeah. Well, where these were shot down are over large military installations where a lot of our nuclear silos are. So the sort of non-alien explanation is that these balloons are sort of trying to take pictures of our military capabilities and maybe even test our response time for objects over those facilities. sort of see how fast they can get in there and how fast that our fighter jets go and scramble the objects. What's very funny though, so what you're talking about, Donnie, right, is the UFOs that move without like...
Yeah, the Tic Tac UFOs that a
Right.
lot of people have claimed to see.
So these aren't those. So UFO encompasses a lot. Like when people think UFO, they think flying saucer, but UFO really just means, unidentified flying object. So
Yeah.
a balloon.
Time out. Before we go further, I'm trying to figure out the mindset behind. Let's say they're correct in the assumption saying that it's a balloon taking pictures to test response times for nuclear, action,
Yeah.
possibly. Why would they do it with such a slow moving apparatus? You know what I mean? Like they threw a change up when they could just do a fastball. If the goal is to eliminate our nuclear, it doesn't even make any sense. There isn't a powerhouse in the world that would want to eliminate one of our nuke sites. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm struggling.
From what I was told, they're not looking to eliminate it currently, but they're looking to survey and spy, basically, to see, if we're really packing what we've been saying we're packing. So it's sort of just throwing it using, wind and, weather balloons are pretty well. That's how we used to track weather, right? So it's not insane to use it for surveillance.
So let me get this straight. Their military operation is to test and see if the only country that has ever used a nuke has the nukes that they say that they have.
Right. But
that might quite possibly be the stupidest mission I've ever heard of.
Well, surveilling
because they could use their satellites to probably
Right.
see if we have the nukes that we say we have.
But
that's what I'm saying. This don't make no sense. A weather balloon? It's
Right.
like
it's
like sending it.
It's a very low tech, but the thing is so a lot of people are like, oh, these UFOs being shot down, they're not alien spaceships. They're balloons.
We could hope.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Well, there was a moment when I was, on Sunday where there was 4 objects and the stuff happening in East Palestine was happening. And there's just these huge plumages of black smoke because of what was said to be a train derailment and then a chemical spill due to some of the contents on one of the truck cars, which they were then burning off. But it would be a really good cover for an alien invasion if we were literally fighting a war with an attacking alien force and we were just chemical spill, not a crash that we shot, not an alien object that we shot and crashed down. And, we're seeing all these objects above our airspace.
Yeah. I mean, they will, the U.S. government will have to make an official statement on these soon. People are shocked that Biden hasn't mentioned it yet, but hopefully in the next few days, they're trying to find the wreckage of these crafts. And I know the one they shot in Alaska, they were it was moving so fast that then when it hit the water, it just disintegrated. And now I know they're looking in one of the Great Lakes for the other one they shot down, and they said choppy waters have delayed the search. I will be very suspicious if they claim to have not found anything. They have to recover at least one of them.
So I was they really said that about the Alaskan object, that it was moving like the UFOs we've heard about that aren't explained.
They did say it disintegrated when it hit the water.
I have a feeling that these balloons are very low tech and pretty small relative to aircraft, and we're literally just shooting them with just Stinger missiles. Or I'm not sure of the exact type, but they're just supposed to be shooting missiles that are supposed to be used to destroy planes, and we're just absolutely annihilating small drone-like objects or balloons.
Has there been any identified threat? I'm getting the feeling this is some troll job by somebody who just made them.
Yeah, if you look at the pictures of the stuff, especially the balloon that was shot down in Myrtle Beach, you can kind of tell it's definitely military grade equipment. like it kind of looks like a satellite almost in that it has solar power. I think it's in the group chat. But
yeah, and I know they say one of them was octagon shaped.
yeah.
Now, if this is like China or something, why would they want to send all these right after we shot down the balloon, knowing that we're on high alert?
I think they were there before. So
okay, and then
because they're really non-threatening, they're not an imminent threat. I think from talking to some of these guys who actually knew of the unit that shot down the first balloon, these have kind of been hanging around our airspace for like years, and even in the last administration, but because like it was never like so much of a threat that they had to be shot down until like there was a lot of the media around the one seen over Montana.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, yeah, we know that China's like throwing balloons at us, but they're balloons, and we're not going to make an international incident accusing China of spying on us, even though they probably, you know.
Yeah, but then after that huge obvious one, they're like, okay, now we need to start cracking down on all this stuff, or people are just going to take advantage.
And the Biden administration didn't want to seem like wanted to react accordingly so that they didn't look stupid is another thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm skeptical about this whole thing, man.
I mean,
none of it makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense for any country to send a drone or a weather balloon or something that, you know, non-threatening over U.S. airspace. And it doesn't make any sense for us to react the way we did. It just, I don't know. Something smells off to me. I'll wait for more information, but this shit seems like a nothing burger.
Yeah. So
is there any threat? Have we identified any kind of real threat, or is it just balloons? Because I know that as soon as they shot it, they went to go get the shit. Have they not got the shit? I remember we talked about this like 2 weeks ago. They still haven't got the shit?
Well, they got the original one.
I don't think they're telling us what it is.
That's that shit, man.
I just still don't
They
get
don't realize it in this day and age. If you're not coming out and being transparent right away, this is how conspiracies get started. Like, just go with a camera crew and say, "This is what we found." Fuck out of here with this secrecy bullshit.
I still just don't get how how this connects to the train in Ohio.
Well, that's just Billy's own theory.
No, it's not an actual theory.
It's an actual theory. It's your actual theory.
Well, I'm just like, some are saying that might be the worst, like one of the biggest health disasters if it's as bad, and if the chemicals that were on there are now spreading.
Do you want to give context if people don't know?
Okay. So apparently a train derailed in East Palestine, which is on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border.
Yep, it's about like 20 miles south of Youngstown. It's a very, very, very small, it's a village. It's like population 4,000, like very small.
And about a week ago, there was a train carrying various chemicals that are used to create PVC piping and other things that derailed. And because it's a very large, like part of the one of the largest like shipping highways for trains, they had to get it back online. And when those chemicals derailed, what they did was just start burning it off, because the politicians and the corporation that runs it thought that was the best way to deal with the chemicals. So a lot of the politicians and people involved are thinking this is a great success, that they burned off the exact chemical, and I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, hydrogen chloride, which when it's burned, so vinyl chloride, which is used to make PVC, is one of the chemicals they said was on the train. But then they burned it, which caused it to turn to hydrogen chloride that is very unstable and can end up clinging to water. So they burnt this vinyl chloride, it turns to hydrogen chloride, and then it goes up into basically, and if you look at the videos, this black like smoke,
it's really scary.
And you're seeing some crazy videos on TikToks and stuff of just like people looking at the sky, and the sky is just all black with the smoke, and they're like, these aren't storm clouds. It was clear a second ago. Now the whole sky's filled up with this black smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a picture of a lot of fish dying in streams around the area. There was people who drove through a rainstorm about 70 miles south, and their car looks like it was melted because this hydrogen chloride can turn into some sort of acid and cause major acid rain. So it's just scary. And there was a journalist who was arrested at a press conference who was there. And they're like, people are saying, oh, they're arresting journalists who are trying to cover it. Everyone's been told to leave the area. There's no Red Cross there.
So your girl, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she believes the UFOs are just a distraction from what's
East
going on
Palestine?
in East Palestine, which is the real problem.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge, like, if it's, and they're sending people back to their houses now, like, that's like terrifying.
There was a guy who quoted saying, we basically nuked the town in order to get the railroad back. So
Yeah, it's like we're there. Someone also was quoted saying we're Chernobyling Ohio.
yeah, so, this one guy.
It's about time Ohio got Chernobled.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, I'm joking. It's a fun place. I went there for the first time this summer. Had a
Yeah.
blast.
Chernobyl.
No,
Oh,
Ohio.
It was like, get it on record. Your health like people are saying, get your medical records on file now, so that moving forward you have documented any effects possibly related to the
Right.
train derailment.
It also just sucks because it's like a super low income area. It's like tons of farms, tons of like rural. It's like that's just not a place that nowhere deserves that. But like that's not a place you want that to be happening to.
But we're not.
Or it's the perfect place because none of the coastal elites will care enough about it to ask questions.
It's like because it's far enough away from Cleveland and it's far enough away from like Pittsburgh is the next. It's technically like closer to Pittsburgh than it is any other like major Ohio city. That it's like, yeah, if no one picks up on it, like it kind of falls out of people's like jurisdiction kind of thing.
Are people in Cleveland the coastal elites of Ohio?
Technically, yes, because of the Lake Erie coast.
And
I guess
they're probably that's like the wealthiest area. Do you think like
in terms of like the three major cities like Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, I have spent a lot of time in all three. I would say that off the top of my head, Columbus is the like richest,
okay,
like town over town, like has the most wealthy towns.
Okay.
But I grew up in Cleveland, so like I know like the rich people in Cleveland are rich, but like once I moved here, I was like, oh no, this is real money. Like Ohio money and New York money are different monies, but Columbus has the most money, I would say, like per capita, I guess.
Okay.
Maddie shitting on Ohio. That's hilarious.
No, it's not shitting on them, but like it's like
small
the whole,
beans over there, dog. Y'all ain't New York.
No, it's like it's like I mean,
little ass Ohio.
I'm not New York or Ohio rich,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really affect me. But like the money that's here is just like stuff that you just don't find anywhere.
Yeah,
or if you're finding it in Ohio, you're not gonna fucking tell anyone you have that money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no.
Yes. So back to, it's really bad. There's a lot of people reporting from the ground who are told they could go back to their houses, and people are like, oh, my whole chicken coop, all the chickens are dead
Yeah.
from whatever was poisoning them.
Billy, you know, it's kind of giving.
What?
Last of Us.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't seen this movie, but I've heard it's very similar to what happens. Have you guys seen White Noise?
So that's the whole thing. It's movie was filmed in that city and based off, the movie like plot for plot is happening in real life right now, but the movie was actually filmed in East Palestine.
Jeez, yeah, because in that movie there's like some sort of chemical accident, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like shot for shot the movie, and it's filmed in the same place, which is
It's
also
a drama?
nice.
It's a comedy?
It's a dramedy.
Huh. Yeah. Well, I think not for nothing. I think this is a very place with a lot of rail traffic. I think there's just a lot of train tracks. So
Yeah, it's
the
just
idea-
it's a train city. It's like where trains just go through all the time. Yeah.
So if they're like wondering where could this possibly actually happen in real life that has a lot of train tracks and train apparatuses for filming.
Middle of nowhere, Ohio.
Yeah, East Palestine.
It is crazy though that was like exactly the plot of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel bad. That sucks.
I mean, I hope if anyone's on the ground in East Palestine and wants to tell us about what's going on there, come on the show.
Has there been any national news about it? Like I haven't seen.
CNN wrote about it. Like there
But
are.
it's like a blip, right? It should be. I feel like this should be bigger than what it is. Like this should
That's
be.
what
Probably.
they're saying.
But again, it's like I feel like people are picking up on it because of the balloons and the geographic location of it. I don't know.
So
That's what I'm assuming. I don't know.
I mean, some of these visuals are ridiculous of like the smoke, and there's a picture from an airplane of like a lot of cloud cover.
Yeah.
But then you just see this gigantic black like when you are on an airplane, you're above clouds and you see like the clouds below.
Yeah.
Well, just imagine that, but then there's just this big black splotch where all the burned chemicals are getting into the clouds and turning to acid rain. Like there's this one picture, shout out Dante, he did a great blog on it on barstoolsports.com. You should check that out right now. But like some of the visuals of basically like a car, like the paint getting melted off a car because they drove through acid rain 70 miles from East Palestine, and then like also tons of like fish dying and like frogs are some of the most sensitive amphibians, especially when it comes to chemical contamination, because they breathe through their skin, and like they're the canary in the coal mine for stuff dying. And I mean, like they're all dying, but it is kind of a little cold right now some of the dead frog pictures I'm a little skeptical of because they should be hibernating right now.
Mm-hmm. Something similar to this happened in India in 1984. Gas leaked from a pipe, and I think it killed 4,000 people.
Whoa.
I think that's like known as the worst chemical accident. Maybe, yeah, the worst industrial accident in the world.
Yes. So there's all these people, they had to leave in the middle. They evacuated very late Friday night, early Saturday morning. A lot of people had to leave their pets because they were told to leave and they couldn't move them. So like a lot of people are coming home and like their cats are dead. Or like this one guy had a fox in the video.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't understand why. There's a lot of, okay.
Was it a pet fox?
Yeah, this guy had a pet fox. That was just something I saw and I was like, wait, this
wow.
guy has a pet fox. One,
How do I get it?
I wish we could talk in different circumstances about your pet fox and not you being in the middle of a chemical disaster right now. But like, you keep foxes. What are they like? As pets.
They seem like they would be an awesome pet.
Hey, dude, off topic. What's it like to own a fox?
Like, are they chill? What's their temperament like? What do they eat?
Aren't they just like dogs?
No,
You
little
would
fox
think,
here.
but yeah, I mean, you can't really domesticate a wolf, although I'm sure that's been done too.
So
Well, there's people who have that. I mean, it's different, but still there are people who have wolves for sure, and hybrid wolves too.
Yeah.
wolf dogs.
I
are
feel like
tricky.
people have had almost every type of animal as a pet. It's just that when you have certain animals as a pet, there is like a 10% chance it's just going to snap and kill you. With like,
Utopia.
yeah, like someone even had a pet hippo
Savage.
at one point, and they were
Ain't
like,
no fucking way,
someone had
bro.
a pet hippo. They were living like a happy life, and then one day it just snapped and killed them.
hippos.
Never.
Pablo Escobar's hippos are invasive in South America.
I saw them actually.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that video.
Yeah. I went to Colombia, and like a lot of them are still in this sort of theme park,
Yeah.
but then tons have escaped too. And so if there's like 30 in this park, there's still another 400 or 500 just roaming Colombia.
Yeah.
And there's like a video of one of them running through a kid's soccer game. It's like a bunch of 12-year-olds playing soccer, and then a hippo comes out of the bush and just runs through.
I mean, they're the deadliest creature in Africa.
Yeah.
They kill the most people, and there are way more like animals in Africa that you think are more dangerous than hippos, but the hippos put up the numbers.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know if they want to just go in and start killing them, but then there's a lot of animal rights groups that being like, we can't just go and murder these hippos because Pablo Escobar happened to bring them here 20 years ago.
Yeah. I saw the military
30.
like hunts them every now and then.
Yeah.
They definitely use way too powerful. Like, think about if you're the military, so you have access to military grade weapons, and then you're told to go kill hippos. Someone definitely RPG'd a hippo.
You can actually pay to RPG a cow in Cambodia.
Dude, I mean, someone definitely RPG'd a hippo.
Yeah, I feel like RPGs were made for hippos.
I feel like that would probably be the best thing to make sure it dies.
It would just be raining hippo on like everyone in a 30-meter radius, though.
Yeah.
Y'all taking hippos over any other animal on Earth?
Polar
Like,
bear.
as far as like in a fight?
Elephants do body hippos a lot. Elephants that go into must, which is like male elephants get super hormonal when they're like going through puberty and it's like breeding season, and they just start killing random animals like rhinos, hippos.
Yeah.
And they'll like take out whole villages. It's wild.
Elephants?
Yeah. Yeah. They're like chill most of the time, but when these guys are, horned up that they just start like destroying everything around them.
Yeah, they'll just run through a village in India.
Yeah.
And just wreak havoc
And
flatten people.
And it's gotten worse because of poaching, all the older males with big tusks tend to not make it to a certain age. So you have a lot more younger males, and the older males supposed to like keep the young males in check when they go crazy. But since they all got killed by poachers, you have all these like young dudes with too much like testosterone going through their body, just fucking up like whole villages and like killing different animals.
Yeah, elephants being raised by single mothers.
Yeah. I know that's so they're caught because there's not older
parent.
males.
Single parent elephant homes got these young bucks out here running wild.
Exactly. That's actually so true. Like, so there's more examples of it happening. So like safari trucks are getting flipped over by these guys going nuts. Like I blogged a bunch of videos.
I'm 1,000% for that, by the way. Yo, these safaris and these like let's go view nature in a safe little vehicle. I hope that shit happens more often. Fuck that shit. That shit's the dumbest shit ever. It's dumb. Zoos are stupid. All that shit is stupid.
Are you
Leave animals alone, bro.
Are you against it for like the animal rights thing, or you just think like you're crazy if you do that?
Yeah, no, I don't give a fuck about animal rights. What I'm saying is, like, if you are in the wild chasing lions and one happens to kill you, that's what you deserve. Like,
okay, I agree.
You in an environment, dog, where niggas is hungry and you are food. And it's like, and it'd be killed. I've said this before 1,000 times, but it's like when you in the wild and they're like, oh, it's an animal attack. Like, no, dog, it's lunch or it's dinner. You know what I mean? He's chilling. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. You're not. You're bugging. Stop going to visit animals in the wild, dog. You can die. Like, it's not worth it, dog.
I think you and I think similarly on that, like the ocean. Like, don't go in the ocean. There's things in there that will fuck you up.
Nothing to do with me. The ocean I'm glad that it's prosperous, but it's not nothing to do with me.
Shark attacks are extremely rare, though. I mean,
there's other shit in there,
I would say going for a nice swim in the ocean isn't the same as just like walking around the African bush.
I'm not going to find out either one.
There is the flip side, though, that those sort of game preserves and the tourism, because the animals does have a conservational role.
Yeah, if they put all of the money they're getting from tourists into helping preserve their environments. This was a crazy story. In China, they had a safari park where they just shipped in a bunch of animals from Africa, put them in some park in China, and then you could drive around it in your own car. And the one rule was just don't leave your car. And a Chinese couple and their mom were cruising through, and the wife got in a big fight with the mom. And the mom was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. And just steps out of the car, goes for a walk, gets immediately attacked by a lion and murdered.
I'd love to see it.
They're actually, this is on tape. So if you want to watch that video, you can on YouTube.
Do not want to see
That's on YouTube?
a woman
Yeah.
get mauled.
It's
You don't see like the full thing, but she gets like dragged, right?
Yeah. You see, she gets out, and then I forget if it's a tiger or a lion, just drags her away.
Jesus.
Like, bro, you are meat, and they be hungry. I don't understand that mindset, dog. I don't feel bad for it. Like, I mean, it sucks that somebody lost a loved one for sure, but your loved one was stupid.
You know what's wild? There's more tigers and lions in Texas than there are in the wild.
Yeah, there's all kinds of exotic animal farms out here. I met a dude
Oh my!
at a conference. It was this conference where it's like just the richest of the richest people. I'm talking about. I met some lady who owns 1/3 of the strawberry production in the world. Insane amount of wealth, just like that kind of shit.
Whoa.
Anyway, there's this dude that owned an exotic animal farm, and he was like trying to get me to go out there. And at first, I was like, "All right, bet." And then I was like, "What the fuck am I? I'm not going out to your animal farm." But he has zebras, he has giraffes. It's a big market in Texas because Texas climate is very similar. It's very dry, very deserty. And so you can preserve them out there, and so they do.
And you
But
can hunt them too. That's
if you want to go, put a couple in a giraffe noggin, then yeah, go ahead, fam.
I just sent you guys this article. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Do you ever see when they found the tiger in New York City?
yeah. That was like one of my core memories because it was like 2004 and I saw it on the news.
Where did they find it?
And it was it was on 96th Street.
It was in Harlem. Some guy's apartment. He had a 425-pound tiger.
Holy shit!
Yeah. And he raised it all up there and he would take it for walks at night.
Yeah, and I guess so. He raised it from when it was a little kitten.
He also had an alligator in there too.
I did not know that. That's insane.
Yeah, he had an alligator in the bathtub.
No
Did he die?
thanks. Did he die? I don't know.
The tigers died recently in captivity in Pennsylvania. But he declawed and defanged the tiger, which is kind of messed up, so that couldn't hurt him.
Yeah, it's fucked
That's
up.
insane.
You
took away the tiger tools. That's all he has.
No, so I was thinking, so there's so many lions and tigers in Texas more than the wild. So like if a Last of Us apocalypse happens, they're all going to get loose and you're going to have like the whole of America is going to there's going to start to be breeding populations of tigers and lions.
Brother, if there's an apocalypse like The Last of Us, that's the last fucking thing I'm worrying about.
But
hopefully they wouldn't really venture up to the Northeast, because it's
they
too
can
cold for them.
I mean, think about Siberian tigers. It's not too cold for them. They'll
That's not regular tigers.
yeah, but like Bengal tigers too, they go up to the Himalayas.
Again, if we're talking Last of Us apocalypse, those things are getting shot immediately.
Yeah, but
Or eaten by the apocalypse people.
I know, but I'm just thinking like in all these apocalypse movies, they don't talk about like the zoos,
The logistics.
like there's going to be lions and tigers hunting people in the streets
of Texas.
Yeah.
Which also is funny.
I'm hoping they
because
all migrate south to Mexico.
in The Last of Us, it starts in Texas.
Yeah.
What could have been?
Yeah. There should have been. Why wasn't there an episode on all the wild tigers and lions?
Austin, Texas. Austin Zoo, I've heard, is awesome. Where were the animals that got
Mhm.
out? Also, I can't stop thinking about that show. It's all
Did
I
you
think
see the
about.
last one?
Yes, it's all I think about all day long.
What is it? What is this show?
The Last of Us. It is so good. It's based off a video game, Arian.
Oh, this is the one you were talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I can't stop watching it, and I can't stop watching analysis videos of every episode. And oh my god, I hate these types of shows usually. It's overtaken my brain. It's amazing. It's so good.
I'll have to check that out. Have y'all watched You? Have y'all seen any of that?
Nope, I don't like.
Yeah.
I hate shows like that where something like that could happen in real life to me.
I saw the first season.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed the first season. Yeah.
It's dope, man. I think they do a good job. And this last season, I was like super skeptical because I ain't gonna give it away but you know, the premise of the show is like this dude like murders people.
Yeah.
But it's like the way it's written, it's like you low key be rooting for him, which is a wild dynamic as a consumer, right? You just sitting there like, why am I really fucking rooting for this dude who's actually out here like offing people? Like he justifies it in weird ways, which the psychology behind it is actually kind of interesting. Like most people think that they're good, even if they do bad shit. The majority of people think that they do bad shit because they're good. So the psychology behind it is actually interesting. But this last season, I was very skeptical because how much more can we just like sit here, you know, with this murder shit? But they did a really good job, in my opinion, of kind of changing it up, and I like where they went with it. I'm on episode 3 or 4.
Wait, is there?
Good. It's good.
Is there a new season? The last episode I watched that was
A new season came out like
with the oven.
a new season came out within like what,
Yeah.
Arian, like last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was like
Last
I think it was like
okay.
last week. Last week, yeah. Last week. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I could get how people don't, but
I just don't like
Interesting.
shows like that as like a girl where it's like some dude could stalk me and then kill me and
I mean, that was the scariest thing about the Brian Koberg
yeah.
thing is
It's,
that
yeah.
he DM'd them, and the DM was like,
Hey, what's up?
"Hey, what's up?" And it's just like, guy, like you would think that guy who would murder you might say something like fucked up and creepy in the DM, so you'd have some sort of idea it could be coming.
Yeah, I feel like that show you is gonna hurt just like nice guys going around New York trying to spark up a conversation with a girl, maybe ask her on a date. Now they're gonna be like, no, I've seen you. You're a creepy guy who may murder me. I'm not gonna go on that date.
100,000% yes. Like
I'm okay with that though. But I'm okay with that. If this show puts the antennas up for these females, then let's do that. Because I mean, it's the only reason why that they're scared is because dudes are weirdos.
men are
Like,
terrifying.
Dudes are weirdos, bro.
Men
Dudes are weird.
men are literally
I
terrifying.
mean, I haven't asked a girl out on a date in a
Tigers
long
are
time, but
scary.
like,
no.
but it's got to be. That's probably the most awkward part of doing it. If you're a guy going to ask someone on a date, you're gonna be like, is she gonna think I'm super creepy or?
So like
Yeah.
I'm dating right now, you know, talking to people and stuff like that, and I hate this shit, by the way. But like, and Maddie, you can speak to this, right? There's
Yeah.
this dynamic that is kind of hard to navigate, where it's like, if you're a dude that's interested in a girl, like my instinct is to make a woman feel comfortable, right? That's my first instinct, is to make a woman feel comfortable, and part of making her feel comfortable is kind of being passive, because aggressive dudes probably are intimidating to her, right? And so there's a lot of creepy behavior that could be viewed as aggressive, and so I'm more passive. But some of the criticism I've gotten thus far is like, you need to be more aggressive with me, or else I don't feel like you actually want me. And I'm like, well, I do, but if I'm too aggressive, it could send creepy vibes. And so it's like there's this weird middle ground in order to write. You know what I'm saying, Maddie?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
do
I
you understand the dynamic? So like, how do you personally would like a courting male to navigate that space?
Okay, so I'll say from my personal experience, because I agree with you that like people find that that's a bit scary if you're too forward. I tend to get to know someone on like a friend level before I venture into a romantic thing. But I've done like the Hinge thing, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you know it when you see it type thing, where you'll catch a vibe of, is this guy like being weird and creepy towards me? And then your guard is like then up a little bit, and then you're more looking for red flags that go along with that afterwards. So you're like, oh, he said this one kind of weird thing, let's see if he follows it up with more weird things, or if it was just kind of like a one-off, like, you know, I don't know this guy, I don't know his tone.
I think if men like really took that into consideration, the world would be a better place.
Yeah.
Like, never once have I thought, okay, I'm dating, I like this girl, but she might murder me. Like, that shit is
I've-
fucking wild, though.
I think I've said that pretty much on every first date I've ever been on. I was like, hopefully you don't murder me. And I give like my location to all my friends. I say what time I'm leaving, what restaurant or whatever I'm going to, what time if I'm not home by this time, call me. Like, you know, keep checking my location. And then I'll give, if like I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, give an update to my friends and text them. Or if he goes to the bathroom, I text my friends like, hey, I'm good. You know, I'm not good. Yeah, no, it's terrifying. Especially if if it's Hinge or something and you've never met the person ever. And you're just like kind of going in blind. Like if you're going on a date with somebody you've met a couple times and you're like, okay, I feel comfortable around you. If you're just like seeing, you know, Danny from Hinge and you're like, I hope, or it's like, what if he catfishes me? And then I'm in a trunk.
I think that's the reason so many people date coworkers these days.
Yeah.
Because work is the only time they're like sober around a bunch of other people and you actually have a chance to get to know them.
Yeah. And like you're completely yourself. I don't like, most people don't put up like these like actually that might be true, wrong, but like you're with someone so long throughout the week.
Because if it's not at work, the only other times you're around a lot of people is like at a bar where everyone's drunk, or you're just using the dating apps.
Yeah, no, it's a scary predicament to be in. Also, it's nice living in New York. You're always in public pretty much. Like it's hard to be in a completely remote location in New York. You know, it's very, very scary. It's also just I hate that. It's just like I'm not a person. Like some people are great and like they're like I love going on first dates and I'll go on like 2 first dates a week. That is not my game. I cannot play that game. That's not how I go. And I'm terrified.
What? You have to go on 2 for what is this? What?
Like they're like, I love going on first dates. Like I'll go on first dates all the time just to meet people. I'm like, that's crazy. I can't even imagine opening myself up like that. Also, It's weird. Now it's weird because now I have more of a digital footprint than I ever thought I would have. And now people find me and find things I say and
true
and see them, and that's worse than I could have ever imagined.
I think that first date thing is got to be a woman thing because dudes are expected to pay, so it's like nobody's really eager to go on a whole bunch of first dates.
If I was a single chick, I'd be racking up first dates all over the place.
I know a girl
free meals.
I know a girl who tries to go on 3 to 4 first dates a week so she just doesn't have to get groceries.
So she can pay rent.
Yo, that's fucking
wild.
Which honestly, I'm like, good for you. Like,
imagine taking a girl on a date and she's just like eating,
housing
like
dinner.
Grubbing. Yeah. You're like, what?
She gets
taking home like 3 or 4 boxes.
2 orders.
Yeah, no, but people.
That is a good budgeting idea, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a little manipulative, but it's a good budgeting idea.
I'll say this, and like I know a lot of men listen to this podcast, and men are like, "Boo-hoo, men have to pay on first dates," and it's like, "Boo-hoo, I might get killed." Like,
all right,
cover the bill.
Only one out of every 10 guys is a serial killer. You'll be fine.
Actually, you're from Cleveland, which has the highest rate of serial
killers.
I think so. I know. So it's well based.
Yeah.
In her experience.
Or not killed, but like it is more likely that I feel like the man might do something fucked up towards me than I do something fucked up towards a man. So it's like you can cover a bill.
Absolutely. I just couldn't imagine like that being a thought. Like you just out here. I'm gonna go get some dinner with somebody I met, and it's like, fuck, dog. I hope.
I'm sweating behind my knee pits. My hands are clammy. I am like losing my shit every time I go on a first date.
Now,
so then why do you do it?
The human condition.
I don't know.
The human condition.
Bro.
Well, I don't do anything intentionally that makes me fearful for my life. So seems.
But that's a different.
So either you're not fearful for your life, or
hopefully I'm going on dates with people that I don't find to be murderous.
Well, you just said when you go, you're sweating in fear.
You have to leave your comfort zone.
Yeah, we also just said the Brian Koberger guy didn't do anything didn't DM those girls creepy things. Like, I'm not gonna if the dude ends up murdering me, that's on him. But I can't vet
it's on
this.
you too, because you're no longer alive.
Yeah.
Would you ever get a concealed carry?
You can't.
I've been asked that.
You can in New York City.
I've been asked that question, and I do not want one, and I do not trust myself with a firearm in any capacity, especially one where I would have to use it. So
Pepper spray would do just fine.
I have pepper spray,
Okay.
but
Do you have a rape whistle?
I don't have a rape whistle. I kind of want one. I want one of those birdies where you pull it out and then it sets like a little siren off. After my incident where I got chased, Avery was kind enough and bought me pepper spray. So I have that now. But yeah, no, like it's a weird dating scene, and I think people are gonna be like, oh, she's overreacting. Not really though. Like,
Nah, man, everybody want to find love, Big T.
yeah, it's like it's part of the
everybody
human
wants to be
condition. Like
loved,
I have
dog.
to go outside.
Yeah.
I could go outside and get stabbed up my like front step. Like I gotta go outside though.
Actually, I forgot about that Halloween.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
fucked.
Yeah, I got chased outside
That's
my
still
fucking
fucked.
bodega, and like
Have you ever seen anyone?
no. Mm-mm.
Did anyone? We thought it might have been a prank video gone wrong because he was wearing a mask,
Or like a
right?
Halloween thing.
Yeah. If anyone has found that content,
I haven't.
then if we actually find that
Yeah.
a guy did a video like that, we're gonna fuck.
Yeah,
this
but
dude
it's
up.
like it's like I was walking home on a Wednesday night and that happened. Like I can only
Yeah.
control so much of what I control, and now if anything, it just brought me closer to my bodega guys, which I think is a plus in the end of the day. But and it like makes me put my guard up now when I'm like on the subway. Like I have my hand on my pepper spray now. But yeah, you can only Big T, like at the end of the day, I can only do so much to like avoid life. Like I have to be a 23-year-old girl sometimes and like date, I guess, or do things.
guess.
Like
Well,
that.
shout out to all your dates that haven't murdered you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah.
Respect.
No, there I'm like going 100. I'm batting 1,000 on men who haven't killed me yet. So going good
That's
on that
wild.
end. Yeah. Anyways,
I
No,
haven't.
I think-
I have an awkward. It's not a date story, but it's a sex story, and it involves Arian, sort of. No.
I have no idea where this is going.
No,
but
no.
I'm in.
It's not bad. So after we went out that Saturday night, you were in town. I told my fiance that you also make music, and we were just listening to some of the music. She was like, "This is really good." I added some to a playlist, and then a couple hours later, we ended up having sex, and we had some music playing, and like your song came on, and I was like, no, I can't have sex to the sound of Arian's voice. So I had to stop mid-sex and turn off the
Damn.
music, which is no offense to your music. You have incredible music.
Is it because I'm not serenading enough? Or
No,
is it
it's
like
just
you
that
know me? You feel like I was in the room?
I am so straight. I can't have sex to like a male friend's voice, I guess.
yeah.
I've never had that problem before where I'm like I've never been like having sex and then part of my takes on and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, this is weird. But yeah.
rock down.
Yeah, it was just more like, you know, it's like a friend talking to me while I'm having sex. So I changed the song.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That would be fucked up. She's like, no, leave it on. That would be fucked up.
Yeah. Leave it on and she just closes her eyes.
Could prolong the experience.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
God.
it was a
That's true.
it was a fine song to fuck to. I'm sure if you're out there, hey, his music is perfect to fuck to, but not if you know him
Appreciate
personally.
that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Matter of fact, I know exactly what you mean. I have a dude who actually is a piece of shit now, but he made beautiful music. And one time I was, getting in the mood and he came on and he's actually an R&B singer. He sings and he has a beautiful voice, but I was like, I can't. Feel like he in the room and it's weird. Yeah, that makes sense. I got you.
Okay, we're
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Shout out to you for changing the track.
yeah.
That's so funny.
So,
Speaking of, this is Valentine's Day when we're
oh yeah.
releasing this. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day to you lovebirds out there, man. Damn, I'm single on Valentine's Day.
Love you guys. You're all our Valentines. Not you guys in this room, but like the people that listen to this
Yeah.
podcast.
Are you gonna go on a Valentine's Day date, Arian?
I've actually never celebrated this holiday like on some real like it's Valentine's Day, babe. I've always been like it's super me, but it's just a consumer holiday, so it's like they just want you to go out and spend money.
Yep.
And I just never act like I gotta celebrate love because you tell me to stuff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ever
Just
really
like
that
weddings. Yeah.
holiday. Yeah. So I've never been inclined, but I'm also not against it. If a shorty is like, yo, let's go do something. I was like, all right, I'll do it. But I'm not like, oh, it's Valentine's Day, guys. It's not like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dressing in my Cupid gown but I'm not against it.
Really quick, just saw something. So the pilots who tracked the aircraft that was downed over Alaska yesterday said that it interfered with their sensors and that they could not see no propulsion systems on the aircraft, not knowing how it could possibly be staying in the air. So they then said that it wasn't messing with their radar and instruments, and there was no propulsion system because it was a balloon. So it was
wow. I just say nothing. I feel like somebody in some house that likes to make shit and YouTube shit made a cool looking balloon or a bunch of them and just sent them out. It's like, watch me stir up some shit. That's what it feels like.
Well,
though.
To get that, like, to get that much helium, I feel like has to be pretty expensive.
Yeah, isn't helium actually like an endangered gas?
Yeah, actually I did see that.
Like we're slowly running out of it.
Like they mine it in Mongolia.
Yeah.
Wait. We can't artificially make helium?
No, helium shortage. Let's see.
Yes, the Earth is running out of helium because it is a non-renewable resource. What will happen if we run out of helium?
It's going to be a lot of sad birthday parties.
The end of MRI testing, LCD screens, and birthday party balloons. Why are we
wasting it on balloons?
Balloons are mid.
Why are we using?
Apparently, I think that's why they wanted to learn how to drill into asteroids, because they could maybe harvest it from like a comet or an asteroid in the future.
So argon can.
I don't hate that take. Right? I thought about it. Other than hot air balloons,
I don't know if that's true.
Balloons are just mid in general. Balloons are pretty, like, what for what?
Balloons are pretty cool back when it was the only way you could fly.
Like in a hot air balloon?
Yeah.
And the
no, but hot air balloon. Oh,
the airships, like the
is hot air balloons helium?
No, hot air balloons just hot air.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So like, other than there's no balloon that I would not be okay with parting with. Like balloons in general are just like, I could do without balloons. Like, isn't it? Y'all don't feel that?
They also
yeah, I've never seen a
turtles.
balloon and been like, wow, that's sick. That made my day better having seen that.
Mm-hmm. Zeppelins and blimps are cool, but do those run on helium? Those were running on like hydrogen, which is why the Hindenburg happened.
I exploded.
We did blimps early in this podcast, and I think we came to the conclusion that blimps are pretty stupid as well.
Yeah, there's only 25 of them.
Yeah, there's like 25 blimps, and they don't really do anything. So like, fuck them.
They're just huge billboards.
Yeah, they are now. I mean, it was cool when like in World War I, like they would do actual air raids with them and drop tons of bombs.
Yeah, I feel like it would be so easy to just pop.
Yeah, just shoot that down.
Shoot it.
Yeah, it's never going to make sense again. I mean, it'd be cool to take a luxury blimp across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
But helium is the second most abundant element in the universe, but on Earth it's relatively rare. It results from the decay of uranium, can't be artificially created, and is produced by a byproduct of natural gas refinement. Only a limited number of countries produce it, with the U.S. and Russia among top suppliers. Huh.
Oh,
yeah. I had no idea about this.
I think we can maybe mine it from the moon. Which,
I mean, what is helium used for? Like, does it serve any vital?
He just listed the purposes. They didn't seem too vital.
Underwater welding, which they use it a lot.
Didn't you say it's used in LED screens?
Yes, LCD screens. Oh yeah,
LCD screens.
The deep water divers used helium, and they used to talk.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Oh, and then you also said MRI machines.
Yeah, MRI.
Those are important.
Yeah,
we use those to detect cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it though. We got to start banning balloons, abolish balloons, so that we can save MRIs.
Yeah.
When helium gets into the okay, so the reason we're using our helium reserves right now is because it's so easy to get. So that's the only reason why we're depleting it. Because it's what?
It's the most human shit in the world, though, bro. It's like we're running out of helium, and like we continue to blow up balloons. Like it's just the funniest shit. It's just what we do, man. We just do stupid shit constantly.
Only 7% of all helium is used for party balloons.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah,
It's a lot. What is the distribution breakdown? What is the pie chart?
let me check that out. I'm going to. Are we wasting helium by using it balloons? The morning call. Although helium is okay, so sorry. MRI scanners accounting for 28% of total helium use in the United States, according to livescience.com. So MRI. And then
there's a whole helium.com.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So a physicist and Nobel Prize laureate from Cornell University wrote that helium balloons should cost about $100 a piece based on current helium supply.
Let's just go back down to liquid helium. I didn't even know helium could be liquid. I don't know enough about helium.
Helium's pretty cool.
It is cool.
And then
I think we can live without it, though.
yeah.
I mean,
The MRI thing seems more serious.
Yeah, MRIs do have a lot of applications.
I'm positive we could find another way. Well, I won't, but I'm just smart motherfuckers on this earth will. There's got to be another way. But still, it's just the fact that it's a possibility. We still out here filling balloons, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. We could just go to every little kid party you go on from here on out. Just start popping them motherfuckers in protest. Ruin a kid's day and save MRIs. Are y'all just sitting there reading about helium right now?
Yeah.
No, not right now. I mean, if we want to talk about this, apparently China used a military-grade laser on a Filipino ship in the South China Sea.
Yeah. I was reading that because there was an announcement that they're going to put more American bases in the Philippines. So now they're getting aggro towards the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to know more about these military-grade lasers because there was also a viral video recently. I think they may have been up in Alaska and there were lasers coming down from the sky and they thought that was from a Chinese satellite.
What?
Yeah, you see these people and these lasers.
Lasers over Hawaii?
Yeah, maybe Hawaii. And it looks like someone's shining a laser pointer from the sky, but they thought it was coming from a Chinese satellite.
Yeah, Chinese satellite beams green lasers over Hawaii. That is true, but why?
And like, can these lasers like burn holes? Because it says, they shined a laser at this Filipino ship and it blinded everyone on board. But like, is this a laser that could also just burn a hole in a ship if it wanted to?
Are real lasers, like, is that real?
Yeah, because we always thought, I mean, if you asked a kid in the 1960s what 2020 would be like, he'd be like, well, every gun's going to be a laser.
Yeah.
I think laser guns do exist. They're not really practical to use, but I did see something about someone like inventing a laser gun. I mean, these just seem like really strong laser pointers, which is what China's using now.
Laser weapons capable of directly damaging or destroying a target in combat are still in the experimental stage. The general idea of laser beam weaponry is to hit a target with a train of brief pulses of light. So I guess it's like possible, but it hasn't been done yet.
I've seen ones that can pop balloons.
Yeah, I think probably the ones you buy on the streets in New York could pop balloons. Some of those are pretty strong.
They're not fun to play with in a. Have you guys ever like someone I don't remember where I heard this story, but someone shined a laser pointer and it got into someone's window. Shined?
Shown
Shown or shined?
It's shined.
Shined? Okay, I didn't
I
know.
don't think shown is.
I think it's
shown.
he shined the laser. He had shown the laser.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he
No, I don't. Is it?
I
so
think.
someone shone the laser.
Shined.
No,
Something I've ever heard anyone say shown.
It's
ever.
shown. It's shown.
Oh,
a
this is
derivative of
this
shine?
is
I don't
saying
think
the
so.
this is saying the past and past participle is shown.
Really?
What? So shined was wrong? So shined
what-
isn't real?
That's what this says.
Shown is a derivative of
Shown,
shine.
no D.
Shown.
So
How you spell it?
Wait, but now I see shined as the past tense and past participle. So they're both listed as both of these different places.
Anyway, so someone lasered in through someone's window and they called the police because of a sniper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people
makes
with laser
sense.
pointers like have almost made planes crash.
Yeah. Well, they
Or-
in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady was in the Super Bowl and he was getting lasers shown in his eyes. Oh, and then where was it? You see it in goalkeepers' faces a lot during penalties.
Oh yeah, I mean that'd be. I assume they're technically banned from all sports stadiums, but they're not.
Yeah.
But they're pretty easy to sneak in. And I can assure you, the U.S. military and China both have some sort of laser gun now, but it just hasn't made sense to use yet.
Yeah. So
Are you of that mold that the U.S. government there's like a certain amount ahead technologically?
oh yeah.
than we know.
Yes, but I don't believe. Some people say that those crazy fast UFOs we've seen are just like secret U.S. technology that hasn't been
Yeah.
revealed to the public yet. I don't really believe that.
You know why I believe that? Because like think about our flight technology, like what are the capabilities that we know of. Like think about we both saw Top Gun.
Yeah,
We saw Top Gun, the Top Gun in the 80s, right? And then this recent Top Gun did much like the same like apparatus which flies those planes are exactly the same in both those two movies. Like the
no.
jets are different, but like
They're not the same.
a plane is pretty old fashioned. The way like a one propulsion system with the gliding type technology,
Like in comparison to your imagination, like what are you talking about?
no, I mean we've been sitting on sort of the same type of technology for a pretty long time, and I think that they
So it's not-
definitely have.
That's what I'm
something else.
saying. So in juxtaposition with your imagination, it's old fashioned. But there's nothing like invent
Yeah.
something else. It's amazing that you can fly, fam. What are you talking about?
Right, but like how are
Yo,
technologies
time out. You really
advanced?
you sitting here saying, yo, that's flying shit. Oh dog, we did. It's good time for something else.
Right. But think about this. Like, think about how far we've progressed with AI technology, computers, and other stuff in the time that we've known how to fly.
Okay, the difference is there's only so many ways you can fly. Like we've found a way to fly that works, so every plane we make is gonna fly that way.
Right. But what if? So, like for example, drone technology. That's what I'm saying. Like,
No flying.
right, still flying. But do you see how drones? Like, have you ever seen drone racing?
yeah.
Do you see how crazy those things move in the air?
hmm
Those
That's
make
because of its small mass.
right, but those can outmaneuver like an F-22
hmm
in a
Because
certain
of the
regards.
ma-
Because right,
A cheetah can outmaneuver an elephant, but it's because of the mass. That's physics. If the more mass you have, the more energy it takes to move that mass. So that makes perfect sense. And if you want to have a big craft move that fast, you have to manipulate physics in a way that we don't understand yet.
right, but the objects that they're seeing are much smaller than an F-22. They're like, for example, I think one of the objects that we'd seen was about a VW Beetle-sized object that was moving, which is kind of smaller than a F-22. Like it's
A little bit.
it's like it's smaller,
hmm
so like, and it's moving crazily. So have we developed technology that can make something that size move in ways that these like small racing drones have? I don't think that's too crazy out of the possibility, especially if they're unmanned.
No, but didn't like the government reveal files that they're just as confused about these?
Right. They're
everyone
saying that
else?
they're spotting stuff, but is that just them trying to almost like basically flex to China that like these things exist? I think it's a nuclear defense system that basically they're out there roaming around and they're supposed to intercept, any type of missile if anything gets launched at the US.
Well, why didn't we use those to intercept all these balloons that are
So-
over the Great Lakes?
I think it's because the balloons weren't a threat. And by using them on those balloons,
We
it would tip
we'd be
off.
playing our hand.
Yeah.
So now we know. Now they know how to attack us. Just send it really fucking slow in a little balloon and boom, drop a nuke. That's silly.
That's actually,
Yeah, they throw in a changeup rather than the fastball.
yeah.
We got to
You
send
know,
the
have you seen-
Budweiser blimp now.
Have y'all seen Rookie of the Year?
Of course,
Of course.
Yeah, I've seen Rookie of the Year.
Donnie, remember when his arm goes out and she said, "Just float it." That's what China's doing. They're just floating it up.
Okay.
They just floating it over here, though.
But that actually,
That's an old reference.
Great
Just a little
movie.
lob.
honestly, I do believe the crazy moving UFOs that we see. I like to believe that there are technology because it makes me sleep better at night.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it. One, if they are our technology, we have the most advanced nuclear defense system. Number two, that means that there aren't aliens flying above us, and who knows what they want with us.
I would love for there to be aliens, though. Like that's what I'm hoping
1000%
for.
rather that be the case. I would much rather that be the case.
Well, think about
I have.
think about every example in human history of people coming from other places and just
That's
rolling
human.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not saying
human
I know,
history.
but guess
That's
what?
Human history.
That is-
we're the worst creatures. We're some of the worst creatures.
But do you not think that there could be worse creatures?
Yeah,
from
I
I
other
think
think
places?
that there could be better. It makes no sense scientifically, logically at all. The amount of time and care that you have to dedicate in order to travel in interstellar space at a rate in which you can reach another planet that harbors life, and your goal is to kill it. It's like you spending billions and billions of dollars to go travel to the moon, and you find a worm on the moon, and your whole goal is to just destroy the worm. Like, it makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense.
I don't think that blatant of a goal just to do that, but I think they may want to do other things, and the side effect of those things may be going to affect our way of life, and not being like either, let's say they want to come here to take away all our helium, or no, what do we have that they don't have? There's a lot of nitrogen in the air. So
Yeah.
let's say nitrogen, they're on their planet, nitrogen's like our helium, and they run out of nitrogen, but they need it because it is a product that they like, or they use it to power something, or they just need it for something in their lives.
You're just so indoctrinated with this lifestyle that we live in
Right.
on Earth, that the majority of creatures on this Earth just like to exist in their ecosystem. We're the only ones that are like, let's conquer fucking everything.
But
And take resources, and not everything thinks like that.
But that's-
it's just a very
I mean, I was just saying, I'm not saying they're going to show up. I'm not saying the aliens are going to come in peace. I'm just saying it'd be so incredible if we found proof of aliens in my lifetime, because that would be, it's like I just happen to be alive during the most incredible time in human history.
True. But the only reason,
fire.
Aaron, the only reason I'm arguing the point that I don't think they would necessarily have a different mindset is that all of the ways that we have gotten advanced technology, and we've had like revolutionary in industry and everything, is because humans have been trying to do messed up stuff to each other, to other animals. And that is the reason why we have progressed, is because of, violence and that is how we have gotten to this point. Think about how we got to the moon. It was literally because we were trying to flex rocket technology that we want to kill each other with.
That's
Why
not
do you-
why we went to the moon.
That is the reason why the space program got so much funding, and was so that they could show the Soviets how much more powerful our rockets were, how much more advanced we were, because they wanted to basically say, hey, guess what? Not only can we go to the moon, but we can put a fucking bomb in Moscow in under 20 minutes.
You're thinking, yeah, but you're thinking of the political aspect of it. That's not what I'm talking about. The scientists that actually had to do that, calculate those equations and all, they don't give a fuck about that shit.
Oh, the Nazis? Warner von Braun?
No. You're not listening to what I'm saying. The people that there are horrible people everywhere, but the people that are actually doing the science, they don't give a fuck about that shit.
The science,
they don't give a fuck about that shit.
No, the scientists 100%. Dude, the story of the U.S. space program is literally they got dudes who were working on rockets to kill as many Allied forces with the V2 bugs. They got those scientists who when they were inventing those rockets, they were literally like, they were Nazis. They were like trying to like defend the fatherland and kill other people. They were probably some of the most murderous people.
That's not necessarily true. Not all of them were like that. Some of them were just doing what they were told to do. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, I feel like a scientist is going to work for whoever funds their science, whoever funds their research. And
there are absolutely horrible
when
scientists.
They lost Nazi funding, they're like, all right, let's go to the next best funder.
Okay, so what I'm arguing is that I think aliens would be more likely not to have total benevolent intentions because of the way they've gotten that technologically advanced. The only example of higher intelligence life forms that I know of is humans. So for me to think that there's a totally different way that they came to become intelligent and advance to a certain place where they need to travel large distances out of like some sort of necessity would probably be something non-benevolent. I would like to think,
but you're looking at it from an entirely, for me, a skewed perspective. You're looking at the end result of the scientific progress that we've made, and you're saying in the time of war they used scientists to further an agenda of
right.
imperialistic and capitalistic gains. But if you look at the basis of how we have progressed as a society, it's the absolute opposite of that. If you look at Einstein, if you look at Isaac Newton, if you look at I forget buddy who invented the scientific name, Ibrahim, I forget his name, but all of those were to progress humans and to help human beings prosper and flourish. Agriculture, all of that stuff, none of that stuff was for war. Like you're taking a small subset, a group of people who say, hey, here's some science and we're going to use it to our advantage, rather than the actual foundations that science is built upon was used for nothing more than human progression and to help people.
My argument is that the greatest revolution and advancement in technology in human history has occurred due to necessity in times of like struggle and being that.
What do you think is the greatest? What do you think is the greatest human invention?
I mean, computers were kind of first invented during the space race, right?
I mean, computation. I'm just saying that
computers have been around since way before the space race.
But it wasn't like
they were just like rooms. They were big ass rooms.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the exact date, but they were like huge rooms. It was way before the space race.
It's crazy that like a tiny calculator can do exactly what those computers that would take up full rooms would do.
And I mean, humans being able to split the atom, like that all happened because of war.
Yeah. And like nuclear energy was developed because of.
I don't think they didn't say, yo, split the atom to see if we can create a bomb.
Well, yeah, isn't that like what the Manhattan Project was? Because like people already had theories about it.
Yeah.
But then they didn't get that supercharged dose of funding, and they're like, okay, now you have all of the resources you need to make this happen until the war, when they're like, we're starting the Manhattan Project, focus all of your time just on this. So like, I think people would have figured it out if it wasn't for war, but the war led to people figuring it out way faster than normal.
I just would want, like, basically the one thing it comes down to is I want to know how and why, what happened on that alien's planet to cause them to get to the point of technological advancement? What drove them to get there? Because
I hate it here.
I know, but like whatever drove them to get it there isn't going to come with the best intentions. Because if they were happy and they were peaceful, they'd never leave the planet.
That makes no sense. What?
But like, why would they?
Human curiosity drove us to science, not war. Human curiosity did. What is light? What is waves? What is sound? It was human curiosity. It wasn't war.
Right.
It wasn't the takeover of resources.
But for example, like this, so let's talk about like the Renaissance, right?
Okay.
And I agree with you in some respects. Like the Renaissance it was the first time in history where, there was like the city states of Italy were plentiful and guys didn't have to like worry about, getting, their own food every day. Like survival wasn't as big of a factor as it was during the Middle Ages, during the Renaissance. So it allowed guys to have time to do arts and stuff. And like,
and all that was funded by the governments,
by the patronage of the Medici, all that stuff.
But like also them, like during the Renaissance, us discovering the new world and then developing the new world, that was all motivated by trade and like more access. Yeah, it was all motivated by greed. But it led to all these scientific advancements and navigation and everything.
So like the same way those, bankers caused like a lot of sciences and arts to be studied was from the exact thing that we're saying didn't drive the like advancement, revolution, like breakthroughs. Like that banking system caused all of those breakthroughs from the wealth created.
I guess what bothers me about this notion is that I'm already a pessimist, right? And so you're taking the last bit of hope I have for the universe and you're injecting our bullshit into it.
Right.
And so you may be right? But you may be wrong. Neither one of us know. But I'm arguing that there has been pure intentions for investigating our natural world. And you're saying the advancements haven't happened, but to conquer. I disagree. I think they can happen in lockstep with each other, and you can use that good for evil if you want to. But the investigation of our natural world has absolutely had pure intentions. And so what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is, I've said this for years. We fucked this up. This whole system that we live in, this is the dumbest shit in the world. You wake up every single day for a paycheck. You wake up every single day so you can feed your family, but you have to go to work and all this shit. When our collective, what it should be is our collective power should be towards feeding and clothing and sheltering each other and exploring our natural world. That should be the goal of humanity. But we fucked this up. And like I said, the bothersome part of what you're saying is you're saying everywhere else in the universe will also fuck this up. And I just refuse to believe that shit. I just can't. I could call it like, the niggas believe in God and shit. That's their faith. It's my faith. It's my faith that somewhere out there, they didn't fuck it up. Somewhere out there, they understand the goal. And the goal is to explore this beautiful place that doesn't have anything to do with taking other people's shit. I just refuse to believe that everywhere else is fucked up like this.
So the reason there's the thing is, animals it's called the bonobo paradox, which is, let me just try to put this the best way I can. So bonobos, right? They love having orgies. They're like some of the wild matriarchal as well. But a lot of people think that like humans evolved from an ape, much like the bonobo. But the difference between why they started changing and like the bonobo didn't was because the bonobos were happy and they didn't have to change because they lived in a very like loving society where they made love, not war, and all that. Whereas the monkeys, the chimps that were killing each other and stuff, had to advance, had to make tools because their society was much more like not hipster,
Yeah.
like the bonobos. So basically, like because that caused like the derision and survival and competition between different tribes and groups caused us to get to the point where like steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron, like having something an equal and opposite reaction and like bouncing off another civilization. That's what caused like all the advancement.
I think that theory holds weight. To make you feel better, Arian, like one example of something that wasn't, I don't think, motivated by war was the Green Revolution, which is when we like learned how to triple our crop outputs. And that was, I think they like learned how to just breed different strains, like high yielding strains together. And then we shared that with like the entire world. And that's why like now today hunger isn't as big of an issue, because we like humans figured out a way to produce like 4 times as much food as they were before. And I don't think one country was just trying to gatekeep that and being like, no, we're only going to have this technology. I think it was pretty openly spread with everyone. They're like, let's raise all of us up.
I mean, there's countless examples of that. I don't know, man. I just refuse to believe that that's if that's the case, if every single civilization that is interstellar hopes of traveling and all they want to do is go conquer more shit, then my pessimism is justified and this entire universe is fucking stupid, and I'll be happy to go to my grave knowing that this place is fucking dumb, and I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of my days playing golf. Fucking hoes. I'm cool with that.
But you know what? To your credit, Aaron, and let's entertain the other idea, because it is a better, like, it's a better outlook. That let's say there was a different way that the aliens got to the point of being a highly advanced civilization. Something that we probably can't even, like, it's probably true. There probably is a way that they would have got there without having to go through like the horrors of history that humanity has, that they were able to get this advanced technology without like the human qualities that drove advancement and revolutionized our technology. Like, let's say, like, I don't know, maybe they changed because I guess we can't,
because they were curious, because they looked at light and said, what the fuck is this? And they looked at the universe and said, what are those things in the sky? And they just investigated it because of pure curiosity, which is a lot of what we did.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, we were mapping the constellations to figure out sea travel to like know where we were going, and most of the time
that's what I'm saying. You're just taking small instances in history that used some of that technology and said that's what it was made for, which is not the case. I think it was Newton that said it. I'm only where I'm at because I stood on the shoulders of giants. Science has been this like collective, and it's like just been a collaborative effort to learn everything around. And to say that we learned how to split the atom just to bomb people, it's just not true. Like, the discovery of the atom was not for that. We wouldn't even learn how to split the atom if we didn't discover the atom. Like, discovery atom was for an entirely different purpose. It was just they were curious. It was hypothesized. Light, gravity, all of this stuff around us, fire, all of this shit has just been explored by some of the most brilliant minds that we've ever had. And some of it sure has been manipulated by pieces of shit. That's always going to be the case. But I don't believe that the catalyst behind our scientific discoveries has been purely for harm. I don't think that's the case.
The greatest driver of innovation happened to be dire circumstances with incredible consequences. And that's what
I don't
caused.
think that's the case either.
I think that is the greatest driver more than just curiosity, because if you like, a lot of people, a lot of this innovation was caused by people in dire circumstances with incredible consequences
Some of
that
it.
needed to do something, or they were going to basically cease to exist.
I think we're all going to have to
That's
go
not
watch the movie Oppenheimer when it comes out.
Yeah. He tried to literally set off a tactical nuke during the film. He was like asking the U.S. government for a tactical nuke. So for the movie.
I thought.
Yeah.
So James Cameron.
Not James Cameron.
What's his name?
Batman, Dark Knight, also Interstellar.
Who's the
Christopher
Batman?
Nolan.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan. He actually tried to. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to watch that as a podcast because I think his life story is like, yeah, he was doing just pure scientific research, and then once he ended up seeing the outcome of his research when they detonated the first bomb, he was severely depressed.
Yeah,
and was like, "Fuck, this is what like my research has come to." And he had that famous quote, "I have become death, destroyer of worlds," or
was he saying, "I have become Vishnu, the Hindu god," which they actually
makes. I'm just saying that makes perfect sense. Like I think you'll find some people who are just evil scientists, like trying to figure out how to kill people. But the majority of people that have an interest in exploring, because these people, like, I think why I have so much reverence for science is because like these people spend their lives studying this. Like It's not like something they literally are invested as kids, and they just learn the mathematics behind it, and it's just years upon years of study and research and trying and trial and error. And to have sinister motivations for 30, 40 years, it's just not likely, and it's not probable, and I don't think it's accurate.
Well, I don't think individuals necessarily, but no single individual can ever create something like, well, they can,
my point.
But like no single,
That was
right. No, I agree. But because of that,
glad we agree.
Sinister individuals will always have a hand in these creations.
mm-hmm.
But like I said that almost verbatim.
So you agree with me?
No, you agree with me.
You know what okay.
The Nobel
I'm saying
Peace Prize.
the majority of people aren't investigating science for sinister reasons, but you're always going to have your one-offs who are. And then you're going to have people who don't research shit, but use the findings of those investigations for nefarious reasons. That's what I'm saying. And all I'm saying is this place, we fucked this all up. And out there, they have my last bit of hope left in the universe. And if that's fucked up, fuck it.
Okay, you know, I've actually think I've
OD on ayahuasca.
I think I've thought of a possible situation that innovation could be derived from non-sinister means in a foreign planet. Let's say the super intelligent beings only had asexual reproduction. So how it worked is you'd have these beings and they didn't need other beings to reproduce, but they just die and a new one's born right after. And that's how it works. And they die and they're reborn. But unlike our way of reproducing, they can pass down their memories and they have memories, but their body just gets re-exchanged. But their like nervous system and the stuff they pass on to the new being is essentially the same, so that, you know, their life doesn't end when they die, but like they're sort of reborn and they carry all the memories and intelligence that they do with them. These guys get so bored and so curious over the years of being born and dying. They're almost forced to exist because they can't really die. And because of that, they just get super curious and end up inventing technologies that can take them to other atmospheres, because the continuation of because they're almost like, what's the word? What am I thinking of? Immortal beings.
Immortal beings.
So that
like Dracula.
I'm glad you figured out the only other way, Billy.
But that could happen.
I don't think these UFOs are aliens. So hopefully this
nuclear defense system, so we can just sleep.
Yeah, we won't have to deal with an alien invasion anytime soon.
Or maybe in East Palestine, it was a crashed alien craft, and they're just trying to cover it up with this.
Yeah.
I'm down for an alien invasion, honestly.
Yeah, I would
You
100%
just
be
said
down
you
for.
weren't down with aggro
Do it.
aliens.
If they come down and like, yo, what are y'all doing? I'm down. I'm so down. If they come down and like, we want your helium, then I'm like, well, ain't shit I could do. They came here.
What
Ain't
if-
shit we could do either.
Okay, Arian, to your point, what if they are like beings that, you know, are totally peaceful, totally great, and they like want the best, and like, you know, they're just out here because they're curious, but then they stumble upon us and learn that the same stuff we were talking about that drives our innovation is terrible, and they're like, we need to stop these guys because if they come into the, you know, Galactic Federation, they're going to try to get into a war with all of us, so we need to destroy them now.
I love that idea. Yes, I'm for that. Destroy it.
But isn't in the most roundabout way, we just like literally they ended up trying to destroy us.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
They're like, you guys suck, you're the worst creatures ever. We are perfectly evolved creatures that don't have violence and don't have anything, but we're just going to delete your planet because you guys are so terrible. And then we
Well, I don't.
wiped.
One, if they are peaceful, that would not be their only course of action. Two, if we did have a civilization that traveled here, that say, "Hey, we know a better way," there's no way we giving up Egg McMuffins to go follow the aliens' way of life, and so we'll end up warring with them and then dying anyway. So it's a wash. So kill us. I'm cool with that. If they're down to take a couple of us though, that's lit. Cause I'm like, get me up out of here, bro. I'm out. I'd leave this bitch in a heartbeat.
What if they were
Take my babies with me.
What if they were of like the like bonobo varieties, and they weren't fueled by like conquering, but they like wanted to like come here and like have sex with us?
That'd be
Yeah, I'm
chill.
definitely down with that. Definitely down with that.
Yeah. They'd find enough willing participants too.
I would volunteer.
Yeah, Arian.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What if
They
they were
love
like
the alien life forms?
yeah, but what if they
A lot
weren't
of
like
incels that would gladly have sex with an alien.
but what if the aliens weren't like hot? They were like insect looking, but they still wanted to get it going.
Hey man, just give me a little red wine, and we're gonna make it happen. Like you would pass up maybe doing something that no human ever has done just because they ugly. Nah.
Dude, I don't know if like remember Alien versus Predator? Like what if they look like those aliens? Would you do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as she's gentle.
No, like it's like cold and like crab legs.
Are you
type
asking
stuff.
him if he would get raped by an alien?
Yeah, I don't have a
That's
choice.
what it
Then.
sounds
But
like.
if she agrees to be gentle, I'm in.
What if they
Put the
don't have
teeth
a
up.
concept?
Put
What if
the
they
teeth up.
what if they don't have a concept of gender?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they'd want to have sex with
Then-
him. It's like there's no way we're going to be biologically
Yeah,
compatible.
we couldn't be able to. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to
So-
reproduce.
I guess it would just be for pleasure.
Yeah,
I don't think they would come here just because, like, fuck, I'm horny.
Yeah, no, that's why
I'm going to
they're
use your body as a fleshlight to get this nut off.
like they actually horny. Like they're so horny, they invented a spaceship to come.
Yeah. So if one of these UFOs is not from Earth, then I think it's like an unmanned drone that was sent here by an alien civilization. And that means that like we just shot down the drone, maybe in like 30 years they'll actually come themselves.
Yeah, or we hopefully like shoot down the drone, and they're like the aliens are like, we don't want to go there anymore.
Yeah, or hopefully they still want to come. Yeah, it's crazy to think. What's that? The Fermi paradox is saying like, if we haven't found aliens yet, we're never going to find them. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, just because there's like so many stars and all those stars have planets around them. And it's like, if we haven't found any proof of extraterrestrial life, then it's not out there. But I just think the concept of how large the universe is, like if we were the only intelligent life, or if we were the only life form, period, that would be insane. Like that actually gives credence to Big T's Bible theory, I would say. If like the universe is this big and we're the only intelligent life, okay, then maybe what the Bible says is true.
Yeah, because statistically, like math wise, if science works and you know science is the science, there should be another planet with the same geolocation, like a location to a sun, to a star, with the same,
Yeah,
occurrence.
there should be like
Elements
millions
from
of
that.
those planets, like millions and millions of
Yeah.
those planets, maybe billions
What?
of those planets.
Well, that's the thing that's so wild, and why I have so much faith in the universe is because it's so vast. There's billions of those planets in our galaxy. No, there's billions of those stars in our galaxy, which means there's trillions of those planets. But that's just our galaxy. There's billions of galaxies, so it's like odds are very high. But in my opinion, but also we're never going to be able to travel there because it takes so long to travel. Like it just takes, and space is constantly expanding. So it's like sooner or later, like the light from those stars and those planets aren't even gonna be able to reach us. We're not even gonna be able to see that. So there's no way we can travel that
Yeah.
far. So it's just a huge mind fuck. So that's why we should just not kill each other.
Yeah, I think the one way we could explore, but then like this wouldn't be in our lifetimes because it would take so long to get there. If we just invent some super advanced type of artificial intelligence that can be in this unmanned craft that can travel insanely fast, then like, maybe if we sent that out in 50 years, it could get to the next solar system, or like it could get to the next star. But even then you probably need like 100 years. Like it's not going to happen in one.
That would be
person's
way
lifetime.
more than 100 years. That's the shitty part. Is like it takes so long to travel. I think the only way to do it in any kind of real way is, and it's theoretically possible, we just don't know how, are wormholes. Those are theoretically possible according to Einstein's equations, but there's just no way to.
Yeah, it's so annoying when you hear something in the news like we found an Earth-like planet. It's only 10 light years away, but like traveling at the speed of light for 10 years. I mean, is there any way for us to invent something that can travel at the speed of light? Like,
no.
Yeah.
It's impossible to travel at the speed of light.
It
would take infinite amount of energy to travel at that speed.
You know what was one of the biggest, should have totally known that from the jump, but just was told so early on that I never made the connection that a light year is just the distance that light can travel in 365 days.
Yeah, I mean,
isn't that nuts?
So
I thought that was pretty self-explanatory.
I know, but it should have been. But Buzz Lightyear is like, what is a light year? Oh, it's literally how far light travels in a year, which is crazy to think about in itself because light is so goddamn fast.
I know. So how fast would it, like our fastest space probes, how long would it take them to travel 1 light year right now?
Let's say if we even could go half the speed of light, then we could probably get, it would take 2 years, but you could go a light year.
All right. How long would it take to travel? Oh my God. So with our current technology, so the space shuttle Discovery could travel 5 miles a second. It would take them 37,200 years to travel 1 light year.
Whoa.
Fuck. Crazy.
But yeah, I mean, have you guys ever heard of solar sails?
Yeah.
Because some people said, oh, that's like a way we could travel really far distances. But how fast?
This is crazy. The speed of light travels 299,792 400. I don't even know how to say that fucking 458 meters per second. At that speed, you can circle the Earth more than 7 times in 1 second.
Whoa.
That's that's insane. That's insane amount of speed.
Solar sail.
We can't fathom that.
It says that solar sails can travel 10% of the speed of light.
Holy fuck, dude! That's
what
actually
is a solar sail?
So I'm just reading about this. A solar sail uses light as a regular sail uses wind. So it would be using the speed, like basically riding light, like in capturing it and having it push a large reflective sail, like wind pushes a regular sail.
So it wouldn't be traveling at the speed of light, though.
But yeah, but if it could go 10% the speed of light, then it's then maybe we could get to a planet 10 light years away.
it would just take 100 years.
Yeah, just take 100 years.
And, whoa, that's wild.
But then that's also, you see, you got to think about this though. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. So whoever or whatever is in that capsule is experiencing time regularly, but to us will be aging slower. And so let's say you go there and back at 100 years, by the time it gets back here, it could be like 1,000 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Or
a
even
human
more
would
than that.
be able to go in anything powered by a solar sail.
Yeah, that
I
would have to be
assume
an
not.
AI.
Unless you brought like a human egg or a human embryo and then just
It just grew up
and
on.
just
Whoa.
grew it on the foreign planet. Sort of like that show Raised by Wolves. Did you guys ever see that?
Mm-mm.
That was a crazy show. It got canceled after 2 seasons, but if you like sci-fi, it's worth a watch.
Oh, was it actually about someone raised by a wolf?
No, it was they sent human embryos to a new planet and then had these 2 robots raise the embryos.
Oh,
So yeah,
that's wild. Oh yeah, on HBO. It's cool.
it's got
Do we
some.
report there's another train derailment
What?
in South Carolina?
Are you kidding?
Yep.
Are you-
Currently, multiple emergency crews are responding to a train derailment in Monroe, South Carolina. CSX Transportation are also on the scene.
So
I didn't even say that town right. Enori, I think. Regardless,
So
another one.
Billy's conspiracy theory is starting to look
what? That if
more promising.
Well, also I saw a report on this. There was a dude that was kind of like documenting all the train derailments, and he was basically saying how the larger companies were neglecting a lot of the work that needed to be done on the rails, and they were also cutting back on workers to increase profits, as always. And because of that, the infrastructure is starting to fail. And I guess there have been like rail worker unions who have been warning about this for a long time. And there's like interviews of them saying like something like this will happen. I don't know if it's directly correlated to any of these, but I remember reading something about that a while ago, and how these greedy ass companies continue to, cut back on expenses, and that has dire effects on the methods in which a lot of these chemicals and a lot of these things are transported.
well, there's the railroad workers did just go on strike, right? And they
Something like that.
yeah.
yeah, did they? I know they were on strike in the UK for a while.
I mean, Pete Buttigieg, who's the transit secretary, like,
You got to get your boys back to work.
yeah, I mean, he's, maybe this is one of those things where train derailments are much more common than we think. They're just not reported on. And because of this recent derailment,
Yeah,
that's
now
caused we're now hearing about it more.
Yeah,
Because I don't think this train derailment in South Carolina
This is
was
just
like, if it's filled with as dangerous of chemicals as the other one was, then you could argue that, honestly, like, let's say there was
Some intent.
there was like a foreign, let's say you couldn't nuke the United States, but you wanted to inflict damage on it by making it look like an accident so that it couldn't cause an actual wide scale nuclear war.
We now know you can nuke the United States. All you gotta do is send the package in a fucking balloon.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, man. This is interesting shit. You two together are fucking dynamite. I must say, Donnie and Billy.
Oh,
you guys
well-
banter off each other well and come up with some crazy shit. I appreciate y'all.
Well, you as well, because
yeah, I mean,
if you weren't here to talk us off a ledge, sometimes we'd end up going too deep.
Nah, it's all good, man. If anybody has anything else, man, that was a long ass nano. I forgot this was a NANODOSE. That was a long ass nano. Has anybody got anything else they want to get off their chest before we
No.
pack it in? Send our Valentine's Day listeners off on their dates.
Do you guys
I
have
hope they don't murder anybody.
a topic chosen for the official 100th episode?
so, you know what,
Mm.
I think we should just be
Transparent?
transparent with our listeners. We moved. we moved. Is PFT gonna be back on Wednesday?
Yes, he
We
was
don't
coming
know.
back today.
No, he's going to. He's somewhere else right now.
Oh, well, he said he was on a flight today. I don't know where.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think that flight was going to New York.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's just
we don't know.
vacation.
He deserves it. He's a hardworking man.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. We gonna hold it down until he get back. But if anybody don't got anything else, man, I thought it's a good show.
Yeah,
Everybody, we good?
Yeah.
it was great seeing you, Arian.
Always, brother. Always. Sorry I interrupted your session, but I'm glad you had the wherewithal to take me out of that room.
No problem, man. I still left your songs on the playlist.
Appreciate
great
that.
shit.
It'll take me all the way off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe. We still on our grind to get 100 subscribers on YouTube, so we can get Big T high on something.
All right, I'm gonna share this episode on my YouTube channel. Hopefully get a few thousand to subscribe.
Need it.
Beautiful. All right, y'all. Much love. Peace.
Peace.